Yes, my name is Jim Clark. I have an appeal before the Idaho Supreme Court. And again, as I told you in a previous video, in regards to Lynn Luker / legislator for the state of Idaho, more of corruption in Idaho state government and legislation. Here I have a letter from also Lynn Luker / legislator. In my previous one, I spoke in regards to the Social Security disability, which he quit on me, and how he quit, and how he said that I didn't owe him any money or anything like that in regards to the Social Security, because obviously they all knew what they were up to after he took over my claim, because I couldn't get him to do anything for me. But here I got another letter of December 23rd of 2010. In this letter, it says, "Dear Jim, enclosed is a copy of the Industrial Commission's order granting my withdrawal from the case. It indicates that you are now representing yourself until another attorney, if any, files an appearance in the matter. Also enclosed are copies of my affidavit of service." But that's a lie, isn't it, Mr. Luker? Is that why you're hiding also, and you refuse to take anything that I try to send to you in regards to the Idaho Supreme Court? As indicated in the lien and motion, because you never did file a motion, from what I've read, an affidavit regarding the lien. As indicated in the lien and motion, I have indicated that the Commission may wait to set the amount owed for fees and costs until the matter is resolved by the decision or settlement. But you see, Lynn, you quit, man. Why in the hell do you think you deserve fucking money? You didn't just quit on me on my fucking work comp. You also quit on my Social Security disability. What the hell is that, Lynn? I put my trust into you. You are a quitter, man. And you held me up on my Social Security all that fucking time, from January until September. And I wasn't even aware of this letter, Lynn. Regarding deposition copies, the copy of your deposition is in the exhibit books. Really? Is it the altered one? As your copy of the exhibits and all of the pleadings, which I organized, are at the Industrial Commission in Boise for you to pick up. I did not receive copies of the deposition of Jewel Owens, of course. I wonder why. I'll tell you that in a little bit. Or Dr. Hansen, yet. If you want copies, you will need to make arrangements with the court reporter for a copy. So does that mean I've got to pay for it now? The M&M Court Reporting Service at 4021 West Franklin Street in Boise, Idaho. And then it's got the number. I did order and receive an electronic copy of the transcript of hearing on November 18th of 2010. Electronic. If one is to read that, you can see where they really fucked me there at the very beginning of, right off the bat at my hearing. And then my attorney just sits there and just fucking, like, lets them do it. Corruption. The transcripts is in 4 different formats, including Word and Abbott files, which, you see, I didn't even have it, I didn't even comprehend computers. Okay, now, I may have had them for about a year, but you see, because of my ignorance on how a computer works and how to do things, obviously you all know now, because the very first film that I have here, well, hell, I did that a couple months ago, and I just finally got it on there last night, because, again, like I said, I finally was able to figure out how to download. I did order and receive an electronic copy of the transcript of the hearing on November 18th of 2010. The transcript is in 4 different formats, including Word and Abbott files, plus easier to read 4 to a page condensed files. I have copied all of the different format files onto the enclosed CD. Finally, I was contacted by several different persons regarding collection of bills related to the September 2009 and March 2010 hospitalization episodes. They are presently holding collection actions because of your pending claim. At some point, you will need to contact them to sort out payment for the bills. Now, Lynn Luker, why? So obviously, the state insurance fund didn't pay a dime for me. And here, you know, they were saying in their filings about how they hadn't refused, you know, and that you know, they weren't refusing me bills. I mean, my medicine, but in fact, it was something about third-party solution. How they had things messed up. But isn't it really true? Is the reason why the third party wouldn't pay for my medication anymore? Because obviously you guys weren't paying them. So since you guys weren't paying them, they said, hey, screw you, we're not going to dispense any more medication to this gentleman. And also, okay, that's a bunch of things from third-party solution that they were trying to say that, oh well, it was a conflict with third-party solution. So we had Mr. Clark go ahead and start getting his medication from Walgreens in Ontario, Oregon. And isn't it true, Miss Rachel O'Barr from the law firm of Anderson, Julian Hall, LLC, out of Portland, Oregon, out of Boise, Idaho. Isn't it true also that during one of the episodes where I had to go and try to get medication, and Miss O'Barr, isn't it true that you took a phone call in regards to the medication, on some of the medication there at Walgreens in Ontario, and they were telling you that they, you know, these people they weren't going to dispense it because they weren't getting paid. And here all this time, I thought all these bills were being paid. You didn't pay a bill, did you? Because in their findings of facts and conclusions of law by Mr. Donahue, which is a liar, in his findings of facts and conclusions of law, which is where I'm at before the Supreme Court based on his findings of facts and conclusions of law, Mr. Donahue is also a straight-out liar. And you all want to know why I'm mad and I'm upset? I have every right to be. For one thing, now I live all the way over here in Washington. I've got all these altered documents. Okay? And plus those 86 pages from the vocational rehabilitation that I sent to the Supreme Court, where I have 2 documents that are identical, 2 different names, because Sandy Basket, who works for the Idaho Industrial Commission Rehabilitation Department, because of the fraud that her and Carol Garland did when they tried to put me back to work with my arm looking like I did. How dare you, man? So again, Mr. Luker, you don't deserve a dime. You're a 2-time quitter, and plus you quit on me. So where do you think that you are entitled to any money? You say because we had a conflict? But isn't it really true, our conflict with because Lynn Luker / legislator would not call one single person, nobody, to back up, to help me on what I believed he was going to help me do because of what I explained to him, what they have done for the last 2 years prior to hiring him. Oh, no problem. You know, and I'll even take your Social Security claim that you had filed prior to hiring me. And look what he did. September. Everything was going fine then, I guess. I don't know. Well, not really, because he wasn't answering questions. Like, did Dr. Hansen do my impairment based on the 6th edition that I'd had him do prior to hiring him? Because it was being done right around October and November of 2009, and then all of a sudden I get an attorney, and now I can't communicate with the state insurance fund. So now I've got to depend on him. And again, oh, I'm waiting for their return call. I'm waiting for them to return. Over time, you know, other things started coming up. Is why aren't you calling anybody on my behalf, Lynn Luker? What about that document over there at Holy Rosary Hospital from 1996 where it states that I was in prison for selling narcotics, which it was false? And I was trying to get that cleared. And I was asking you, that's a false statement. Oh, you were telling me, oh, don't worry about it. The commission will figure it out. Fuck you, Mr. Luker. But you know what I did? After you quit, Mr. Luker, I did go on over there, and I had that taken off my medical record because it was a false statement, so it is no longer part of a record. So, but they're still using it. So obviously, Miss Jewel Owens lied in her deposition. Oh, and I already know that for a fact. But again, how am I going to get all this before the Idaho Supreme Court? Because I am, it's just me. And there ain't an attorney out there that's got the balls to stand over here and help me, man. Is it because I've been very outspoken? Well, you know what? I almost lost my fucking life. I almost lost my arm. And then for these people to pull what they've done, and then to hire a legislator, an attorney who knows the laws, and then for him to withdraw on my Social Security a few months later, quit on here because he wouldn't hire nobody. Now, you know, his affidavit, which I will get to in my next session, how dare you, Lynn Luker? I mean, you know, here you had my Social Security, at least we know from September, and then prior, because of your statement in the Social Security letter, that you knew about my Social Security. Why, Mr. Luker, did you not put any of that in any record in their interrogatorial questions? There you go. Because in one of those questions, Mr. Luker, isn't it true, interrogatorial number so-and-so, but you can reference to, but I had to go back to that one. And when I went back to that one, of course, you can see where you were supposed to put down any doctors that I had seen in relation to my injury. You didn't put down Social Security. You didn't put down anything in regards to Social Security. Mr. Luker, you're a punk. You're a two-time quitter on your clients. I wouldn't hire you again. But, you know, I will be in Boise because I got to file this brief, man. You know, hopefully what I filed yesterday with the Supreme Court, you know, I was told that, you know, it's going to give me another extension because of the 2 documents that I put together from, these aren't them, but the 2 documents, you know, that I put together in relation to the vocational rehabilitation. Come on, Lynn Luker. You know, and then you kept the settlement offer that we made to them for the $467,000. And supposedly when I got the records that you had dropped off because you're a coward, and I wasn't even notified that you had quit until I got this letter in the mail, and you know, or a phone call stating that they have my records. They're, you know, that you dropped off. So who put the altered documents in there? Because now that it was out of your control, and it was in the control of theirs for a day or so. So you tell me, Lynn, is that how that game plays? Well, I don't know. It wasn't in my hands. Oh, well, I don't know. He just dropped it off. Is that how it's played, Lynn Luker / legislator? I'm an injured worker, motherfucker, and I'm coming. I will be heard and I will be seen. I'm not coming to do harm like you guys are trying to make the Supreme Court believe. But anyway, am I an angry person? I have every right to be. Can I get an attorney to step forward for me so I can have a little peace of mind and relax, but know that he's going to work for me and not his pocketbook? Isn't that what you all went to school for? Is to help us people? Or is it just another game? Scam? Once you come to me and once you show me. Because right now, Lynn Luker / legislator is making you all look bad. Because you see, the reason why I'm not scared to say names or to say anything in regards to anybody, because what I say is the truth. Prove me wrong, Lynn Luker. You're a 3-time quitter on me. Because that's coming up next. So, figure out how to shut this thing off, because again, I'm still learning all this. Because I know it's, you know,